This Week in Agribusiness, serving America's most essential industry, is brought to you by Firestone. You never farm alone.
Thanks for joining us here on This Week in Agribusiness. Max, as summer goes along, a lot of folks are out traveling for the first time really since coronavirus, and there are tractors on those roads in rural America.
You know, many farmers have a story of a near miss, and some were actually hit out there. They will never forget it if they live to tell about it. Linda Loveland in North Carolina talked to a couple of farmers who did indeed survive horrific accidents with other vehicles.
I definitely think about it anytime I'm out on the 4-lane highway. I think about that day in February and what happened and how lucky I am that I survived it.
Jimmy Cowan will likely never forget the crash that nearly took his life, even if he can't remember all the details about it.
That whole day seemed like about 45 minutes.
What Cowan can recall, how that February morning started behind the wheel of the tractor on the way to feed the cows.
I guess I left the house about 8 o'clock that morning and took 2 rolls of hay up to a pasture, got them fed, and I was coming back home. It was around 8:40 in the morning. I had came off from a 2-lane road back on the 4-lane, heading back toward home. I had made the left-hand turn and was in the right-hand lane, flashers on, slow-moving vehicle sign on, and I was going through a long straightaway with plenty of visibility. I glanced up my rearview mirror and I saw a truck way off in the distance. Didn't think anything of it at all. Went back to driving. A friend of mine's got some cattle in a pasture to the right. I glanced down at those. I remember looking at his cattle, and then I don't remember anything else.
The Highway Patrol estimates the truck's speed at 55 miles per hour when it hit Cowan's tractor, which was doing 13 miles an hour. The impact pushed the tractor 80 feet down the road, caused it to flip over, and send Cowan out the window.
They found me on the shoulder of the road, laying face down in a mud puddle. They transported me by ambulance to Mission Hospital. I had a lot of staples in my head and stitches, and my right ear was down to the cartilage. I cracked some vertebrae in my back. I've got some scarring on my side.
3 weeks later, Cowan noticed other health issues.
I was having headaches. I was very forgetful. I started having dizzy spells, and especially if I would bend over or look straight up in the air, I would get real dizzy. I could drive and all fine, but if I moved my head real quick or try to play with the kids or bend over working on something, I would have to grab hold of something or fall over because of the dizziness. But all of that's behind me now, and I'm very, very blessed.
Blessed because Cowan knows his story could have had a deadly ending. Fatalities are 5 times more likely in accidents involving farm vehicles, and 82% of farm equipment crashes involve a non-farm vehicle. They tend to happen in large farming communities, suburban areas, and on high-speed roadways.
We have to share the road, you know.
Ricky Betts farms with his brother, Ronnie, around Harnett and Wake counties.
Since 1977.
Since that time, he's seen incredible growth.
A lot more subdivisions, a lot more, you know, road construction and everything. So I'd say the last couple of years has, you know, really amped up.
Betts says traffic has also amped up.
It's horrendous. Certain times of the day that it's just about to be impossible.
Farmers have to get on the road to do their jobs. While they'd like to avoid rush hour, that's not always an option. During that time, backups began quickly.
If you're running 60 mile an hour, it doesn't take any time from the road being clear to having 40 or 50 cars behind you.
Betts says that's when drivers take dangerous risks.
You get people that are late for a meeting or whatever, and they're trying to get around. They may take some unnecessary chances trying to go around, you know, when they really don't have the space or there's some oncoming traffic. I know they've got to get where they've got to go, and I'm going to let them around just as soon as I can, but I just can't pull over as soon as one car gets behind me because they don't know what obstacles there are on my side of the road up ahead.
At the end of the day, farmers, including Betts and Cowan, plead for patience. to ensure everyone gets home to their families safely.
I want to go to heaven, just not today if I can help it.
Our thanks to Linda Loveland at the North Carolina Farm Bureau for sharing that story. And it allows me to remind you, many of you are in corn country where the corn is tall. And at those rural intersections, the view is obscured. You can't take those intersections for granted. After I posted in the social media the other day about those corn corners and the collisions that occur, several had stories to share. In some instances, they had been badly injured or they had friends that they lost because of accidents out there.